talked to Dr. Pearson about kind of, I don't know, touching base with you on reading Shakespeare, because I mean Shakespeare, Shakespeare can be kind of a daunting experience, I guess, when you're not used to reading him. People really get hung up on the wording, and you got the iambic pentameter, you got references from the English Renaissance that you might not get, which the footnotes hopefully help out, but people really get just reading it, they get lost. So I'm going to try to help a little bit on that, and I don't know if this video really helped much on it, but my recommendation when you read Shakespeare is don't get hung up on every single word and every single line. You need to, if you focus on everything, it's going to take you forever. Don't worry about that. Just read it and enjoy it. Like I've read Richard III 7 or 8 times, and I just reread it for this class for the 9th time, and I picked up stuff I never picked up before. I mean, don't get hung up on the little things, because it'll burn you out. At the same time, when you're reading it, and I hope this makes sense, when you're reading Shakespeare can be so easy to just read it, and you're reading it, and you're looking through the lines and all this, and then you think about something, and you're 2 pages down all of a sudden, 2 pages away from where you were, and you don't have any idea what anybody said. You missed everything. So while I say not to get hung up on the little things, at the same time, when you read Shakespeare, read it with a clear head, meaning be careful not to think about what you got to do later on in the day, or something you're worried about, or this and that. Clear your head when you're reading it, and just focus on reading the words. And if you start to get really bogged down, take a break, set it aside for a second, because like I said, you can really just glance over stuff with him, especially, with his works especially. So you really want to be careful not to do that. So the 2 things I guess I got to say is, for reading it directly, don't get hung up on the little things. Don't think you got to understand every single point, and keep a clear head when you're reading it. The other thing I'd recommend too is Shakespeare is obviously meant to be watched, right? It's a play. So, it's meant to be watched. It's not meant to be necessarily read unless you're a performer. So I recommend, and I've always done this, is watch a play version, whether it's the movie, or BBC version or something like that. Watch a version of it first, and then go read it. It'll kind of help you understand what's going on and who's who. It helps really to put a face with the names, especially Richard III, where you got a ton of characters just rolling around. But then read it, because reading it gives you the glory of catching stuff you wouldn't catch just when an actor says it. The enjoyment from, reading this line and going, wow, that's a really powerful line. Really, that makes sense, as opposed to somebody just saying it out loud and just rolling through with it. So you really do try to watch it. It's a really good way to do it. Do that first, and then get in and read it. And hopefully that'll help a little bit. So I don't know if this helped at all, but that's the best things I can come up with. So if you got any questions or anything else, let me know. Let Dr. Pearson know if you get hung up on something, or you get, questions. Just don't hesitate. Thanks, guys.